This is the final portion of the OTISS District Cohort 2 kickoff video. We will be discussing OTISS District participation and requirements for participation. This is Kristen Perez-Rickles, Behavior Specialist.
And this is Beth Ann Langlois, Project Coordinator.
What we need from districts is data. As mentioned in the prior video, we will collect some basic demographic data from both the district and site level. Much of this data is also included on your application, and we may need it to be updated for each year of implementation.
So this is a form that you will see if you get selected with us. This is a form that will appear on your site report every month. So this is a form that each site would fill out. It will also look very similar to a form that the district will fill out. And these are the kinds of demographic data that we would need, and it would need to be updated yearly if there were any changes.
We also need evidence. And this is part of why we collect the data. So we will collect data on the number of students at risk for reading for both students on IEPs and students not on IEPs. We need baseline numbers at the end of the school year of 2018-2019 screening. And then we will collect beginning of school year and end of school year data each year from both the district and site level. We will provide a form to you in which to collect this, and your district level system coach and site level system coaches can assist in completing the form.
So this is what this form looks like. And like Kristen mentioned, your site level coach or your district level coach, and this will be kind of the form that will work with your site level. Again, this will be in your site level report monthly. Your site level coach will help you find this data if you need to find it, and they will help you fill this data out. Additionally, if you want, for some sites, we will look at this data for math. If it's something that you're interested in or something that your district determines they want to look at, this could also be data that we would look at for math. But this is the type of data we will need, and this is the way that form will be filled out.
In addition to the evidence on reading interventions, we will collect data for behavior interventions. So we'll collect data on the number of students at risk for behavior, again, disaggregated by students on IEPs and students not on IEPs. This will begin at the end of the school year, 2018-2019. If you do not have a system for tracking behavior, we will work with you to ensure that you have or develop a useful system. Some schools and some districts will use office discipline referrals to track and record behavioral data, while others may use different screening instruments. So if you don't have a current system in place, we will work with you to develop that system and provide this data. Again, we will provide a form to collect this from you, looking very similar to the prior form.
So what we need is evidence for collecting data to determine that your district or site is increasing level of implementation. So as Kristen mentioned earlier, we will administer a district capacity assessment as well as a site fidelity assessment. Those are to determine both where you are at the beginning of the process and then how you are progressing as you move along. So when we administer it, when we begin to work with you, this tells us where you are in terms of where you are in your process. And this helps us develop where to start working with you in terms of developing your goals and action plans. Then at the end of the year, when we administer the fidelity assessment or the capacity assessment, it helps us determine how you progress. It's sort of our progress monitoring tool at that point, but it also helps us in developing the next year's goals and action plans. So we will be using those every year.
As mentioned, it's the district capacity assessment used to measure increase in level of OTISS implementation. Baseline will be collected fall of 2019 and then administered annually beginning in spring of 2020.
And the OTISS site level fidelity assessment, again, this will be administered the fall of 2019 and then annually again at the end of each service year beginning 2020. If for some reason a school feels like they would like to, we can sometimes administer this mid-year. If they feel like they've made huge strides or huge gains, sometimes they want to administer it at the mid-year. And as well, sometimes if they feel like, wait, we feel like we're missing something or we've gotten off track, they like to use it at the mid-year. Again, as a progress monitoring tool, it's nice if you feel like you need to get yourself pushed back on track. So sometimes we do administer it mid-year.
So lastly, we will discuss OTISS District Cohort 2 finalists and the process.
So if your site is selected as a finalist for the OTISS District Cohort 2, your site will receive that pre-selection visit we've already talked about. This is in order to complete an implementation checklist. The site visit will be completed in order to determine your site's readiness for implementing the supports as an OTISS district.
If you have any questions, the contact information for each of us is on the screen.
And also, please don't forget that we have a website, otiss.net, that you can get this contact information on, and you can also get, this is where you will get the application. There's a link for it there.